Reaching $100,000 is a milestone that separates those who dabble in wealth from those who build it. But here's what most people don't realize. The decisions you make after hitting six figures matter far more than the hustle that got you there. This is where money either multiplies or stagnates, where financial freedom becomes real or remains a distant dream. The gap between someone who retires comfortable and someone who retires wealthy often comes down to 10 critical choices made right at this inflection point. Today we're breaking down exactly what those decisions are and why they'll determine your financial trajectory for decades to come. Decision number 1. The first move isn't sexy, but it's essential. Restructure your emergency fund from a safety net into a strategic asset. Most people with $100,000 still keep their emergency reserves in regular savings accounts earning 0.5%, while inflation erodes their purchasing power. That's a costly mistake. At this wealth level, you should be parking 6 to 12 months of expenses in high-yield savings accounts, or money market funds currently offering 4.5% to 5%. The difference on $30,000? That's an extra $1,350 annually versus $150. But here's the deeper shift. Your emergency fund should now serve dual purposes. It's not just about surviving job loss anymore, it's about having dry powder to capitalize on opportunities. When markets crash or a lucrative investment appears, those with liquid reserves don't just survive, they thrive. Your emergency fund becomes your opportunity fund, and that mindset adjustment separates wealth builders from wealth accumulators. Decision number 2. Now it's time to get aggressive with tax-advantaged accounts. Once you cross $100,000, you're likely in the 22% or 24% federal tax bracket, meaning every dollar you shield from taxes saves you a quarter in immediate value. Max out your 401k at $23,000 annually, hit the $7,000 IRA limit, and if you're self-employed, consider a solo 401k or SIP IRA that lets you contribute up to $69,000. The math is compelling. Someone who maxes these accounts versus someone who doesn't, both earning 8% returns over 20 years, will see a difference exceeding $400,000. But beyond the numbers lies a psychological principle: commitment devices. When money automatically flows into retirement accounts, you remove the daily temptation to spend it. You're essentially paying your future self first. And here's what's counterintuitive. Restricting access to your money actually increases your wealth-building discipline. The penalty for early withdrawal isn't a drawback. It's a feature that protects you from your present self's impulses, ensuring your future self actually gets to retire. Decision number 3. Eliminate high-interest debt with surgical precision. Here's the framework. Any debt above 6% interest should be obliterated immediately. Credit cards at 18 to 24%? Those aren't just financial burdens, they're wealth destruction machines working against you while you sleep. A $15,000 credit card balance at 20% APR costs you $3,000 annually just in interest. That's money vanishing into thin air. Compare that to market returns averaging 10%. You're losing a 30% spread by carrying that debt while investing elsewhere. But there's nuance here. Low-interest debt, like a 3% mortgage, shouldn't be rushed to pay off when you could deploy that capital at higher returns. This is where people make emotional rather than mathematical decisions. We're wired to hate all debt equally, but wealthy individuals understand leverage. They keep cheap debt and weaponize expensive debt elimination. Take Sarah, a software engineer who hit $100,000 last year. She immediately paid off her $12,000 in credit card debt rather than investing it. The psychological relief alone improved her decision-making, and she started building wealth faster, without that monthly payment haunting her budget. Before we go further, if you are enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel and tells YouTube that you're interested in this kind of content. Now let's continue. Decision number 4. Invest aggressively in your earning capacity. At $100,000 saved, your human capital, your ability to generate income, is still your most valuable asset. A 35-year-old earning $80,000 annually has roughly $2 million in future earning potential over their career. A 20% increase in salary compounds to an additional $400,000 over that time span, dwarfing most investment returns. This means strategic spending on certifications, executive coaching, or career pivots isn't an expense. It's your highest ROI investment. Consider switching industries if you are underpaid. Tech sales representatives, cloud architects, and data scientists often earn $150,000 to $250,000, Yet many talented professionals remain in fields capping at $70,000 out of inertia. There's a deep-rooted belief that loyalty equals stability, but in modern markets, strategic job hopping every 2 to 3 years yields 20 to 30% salary bumps versus 3% annual raises. Your skills depreciate without maintenance. That $5,000 course teaching AI implementation or financial modeling might feel expensive until you realize it unlocks a $30,000 salary increase. Wealth isn't just about managing money, it's about expanding the pipeline that brings money in. Decision number 5. Build a taxable brokerage account as your wealth acceleration engine. While retirement accounts are crucial, locking everything away until age 59.5 creates a financial prison. You need accessible wealth for life's opportunities, starting a business, buying property, or retiring early. A taxable brokerage account offers complete liquidity without penalties. And contrary to popular belief, taxes aren't as punishing as people think. Long-term capital gains are taxed at 0%, 15%, or 20% depending on income, far better than ordinary income rates. Plus, you can harvest tax losses to offset gains, something impossible in retirement accounts. The strategy here is elegant. Fund retirement accounts to the match, then split remaining investments between tax-advantaged and taxable accounts. This creates optionality. Someone with $500,000 entirely in a 401k at age 45 has less financial flexibility than someone with $300,000 in retirement accounts and $200,000 accessible. The second person can pivot careers, launch ventures, or weather extended market downturns without forced withdrawals or penalties. True financial independence means having capital that works for you today, not just decades from now. Decision number 6. Diversify beyond the stock market into tangible assets. Most people with $100,000 have it concentrated entirely in equities, creating unnecessary volatility exposure. Real estate, whether through REITs, rental properties, or fractional platforms like Fundrise, provides inflation hedging and income generation that stocks can't replicate. A modest $25,000 down payment on a $125,000 rental property in a growing market can generate $800 monthly cash flow after expenses. That's a 38% cash-on-cash return, far exceeding typical stock dividends. But real estate isn't your only option. iBonds currently offer inflation-protected returns, commodities provide crisis insurance, and even allocating 5% to Bitcoin or gold introduces asymmetric upside potential. The principle here transcends specific assets. Concentration builds wealth, but diversification protects it. The 2008 financial crisis taught us that correlations go to 1 during crashes. Everything falls together. But those holding diversified portfolios with real estate, bonds, and alternative assets recovered faster and capitalized on opportunities while others panicked. Your portfolio should reflect multiple economic scenarios, not just the continuation of a bull market. Decision number 7. Upgrade your insurance strategy from basic coverage to wealth protection. At $100,000, you're no longer just protecting against disaster, you're protecting accumulated assets. Umbrella insurance policies offering $1 to $2 million in liability coverage cost roughly $200 to $400 annually, yet most people skip them until it's too late. One serious car accident or slip and fall lawsuit on your property could wipe out everything you've built. Disability insurance becomes critical too. Statistically, you're more likely to become disabled than die before retirement. If you're earning $100,000 annually, a disability lasting 5 years represents $500,000 in lost income, far more than your current savings. Yet only 35% of Americans carry adequate disability coverage. Term life insurance follows similar logic. A $1 million 20-year term policy for a healthy 35-year-old costs approximately $50 monthly. That's $12,000 over 2 decades to protect a 7-figure asset. The irony: people insure $30,000 cars religiously, but leave million-dollar income streams unprotected. Wealth builders understand that risk management isn't pessimistic, it's foundational. Decision number 8. Establish multiple income streams beyond your primary job. Relying solely on W-2 income, no matter how substantial, leaves you vulnerable to corporate restructuring, industry disruption, or burnout. At $100,000 in assets, you have the capital to seed side ventures without risking your livelihood. This could mean consulting in your expertise area, building digital products, or creating content that generates passive revenue. The average millionaire has 7 income streams, not because they're workaholics, but because they understand redundancy creates anti-fragility. Consider Marcus, a marketing director who used $15,000 to launch a weekend consulting practice. Within 2 years, it generated $40,000 annually with minimal time investment. When his company downsized, he didn't panic. He scaled his consultancy to full-time income within months. The psychological shift matters as much as the financial one. Employment feels secure until it isn't, and that illusion keeps people trapped. Multiple income streams don't just add revenue, they eliminate the fear that governs career decisions. You negotiate harder, take calculated risks, and walk away from toxic situations because your survival doesn't depend on one paycheck. Decision number 9. Invest in professional financial guidance tailored to your complexity. At $100,000, DIY personal finance stops being efficient and starts costing you opportunities. A fee-only fiduciary financial advisor charging 0.5 to 1% annually can identify tax optimization strategies, estate planning needs, and investment inefficiencies that easily save multiples of their fee. Similarly, a competent CPA doesn't just file taxes, they proactively structure your finances to minimize liability legally. The difference between adequate and excellent tax planning at 6 figures often exceeds $5,000 annually. But here's what people miss. You're not just buying expertise, you're buying perspective. When you're inside your financial situation, biases blind you. You overweight recent experiences, avoid uncomfortable conversations about mortality, and make emotionally driven decisions during volatility. A professional creates emotional distance between you and your money. They're the voice asking uncomfortable questions. Is your beneficiary designation updated? Have you considered a trust? Should you harvest those losses? The best financial decisions often feel wrong in the moment. Selling during euphoria, buying during panic. Advisors provide the behavioral guardrails that prevent wealth-destroying mistakes. Their value isn't just technical knowledge, it's keeping you rational when markets aren't. Decision number 10. Define what wealth means to you before it defines you. Most people reaching $100,000 unconsciously upgrade everything. Bigger house, luxury car, premium subscriptions, and find themselves on an accelerating treadmill where more money never feels like enough. This phenomenon, lifestyle inflation, keeps high earners perpetually broke. A physician earning $300,000 can feel more financially stressed than a teacher earning $60,000 if their expenses consume everything. The antidote isn't deprivation, it's intentionality. Decide which upgrades genuinely improve your life and which simply signal status to people you don't care about. That $800 car payment on a luxury sedan provides minimal happiness boost compared to financial freedom arriving 5 years earlier. Here's the framework. When your income increases, allocate raises deliberately. 50% to investments, 30% to lifestyle, 20% to experiences or giving. This lets you enjoy success without sabotaging it. Wealth isn't about having everything, it's about having enough to live authentically without financial anxiety. The richest decision you'll make isn't financial, it's understanding that money serves your values, not the other way around. If this video helped you somehow, take a second to hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you're ready to make decisions that actually compound, subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.